Hey everybody, this is Jordan, and you're listening to Nogymneeded Radio. This will be episode 1, and today we're going to talk about seeing life through the eyes of a legally blind person, and what kind of things he went through and how his perception of things changed. So, I'm here with Andrew, and as I understand it, it was a hereditary disease that hit you in the eyes, right?
Yes.
And so you weren't always like this. What were you doing before? Like, immediately before you went basically blind? What kind of things were you into, and how old were you?
I was 15. I was entering my 9th season of football. And besides
That's
that,
American football, right?
yes, American football. I was a runner in track and rode my bike a lot with my friends.
Did you know this was going to happen, or in the back of your mind were you thinking, hopefully it doesn't happen to me, I'm going to get lucky, or were you for sure that it was going to happen?
I knew it was a possibility, but definitely did not think it was going to happen because my mind just wasn't on it in that way.
So, what were the biggest changes that you had to make in your life at that point?
Well, I had to accept that I couldn't do the things that I was used to doing every day, such as riding my bike and going and playing sports with my friends. So that was the biggest change, just not being able to do any of the fun stuff I was doing every day.
Did it happen instantaneously? Did it take a couple weeks? What happened?
It was a gradual change for 3 years, but it was very gradual and slow. I knew it was happening, but most others didn't. So it was a really depressing time for at least 6 months, I would say. But it happened in one eye, slowly got worse, and then went to the other. So some stuff proceeded as normal, some stuff hit me later.
Did you try any contacts or glasses or anything to delay the process?
No, I was given a lot of tools to help me get around by using a cane or a monocular and things of that nature, but no contacts or glasses could help.
So you had obviously, you couldn't be on the football team anymore. You couldn't be on the track team. You couldn't have serious aspirations as to the regular league, as far as that's concerned. Were you able to bring any of these hobbies through into life after losing your eyesight?
Well, I lifted weights for in school in a class at that time, and I just pursued exercising and training much more because I knew it was something I could always do.
That's true. Didn't you do a lot of cycling as well, even after you lost your sight?
Yes. I got in touch with a group 2 years later called the Blind Stokers Club, who raised money for blind and low vision people, but it allowed me to ride some long distance bike rides on the back of a tandem bike where I didn't have to see well enough to navigate.
That's good, and you get the support there too, and like-minded individuals, both who are blind and other ones who aren't blind but understand the plight and want to support it.
Yes, precisely.
So before we go any further, what exactly is this condition called anyway?
It's called Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy.
So there you have it, folks. You can look it up at home. Maybe you know someone who has it. If you're watching this podcast, you probably searched for something along the lines of legally blind, or even maybe that very thing, which I'll put in the hashtags. So, or needless to say, you don't drive, right?
No, I do not.
So, for the majority of your life, besides getting a ride from friends and family, how do you get around and get to work and so on and so forth?
Walking, bus, and trolley here in San Diego. They have a trolley, which is, they call it a light rail because it's similar to a train.
And so, it helped me too. When I originally first met Andrew, he was my age, and then there was another older guy who was at a Bible study we were going to, and he was also blind, and he also took public transportation. And for a while, I didn't have a car because no one's just going to buy me a car, and I couldn't afford it myself. And so I said, if that old guy can do it, and Andrew, who's my age, if he can do it, I could do it too. And if I have eyesight, that should make it even easier for me than those two. And so I took public transportation for like a good 3 years or so. And it gave me a lot of motivation just from seeing him and them two do it. So you said you exercise and you've done some cycling and stuff. Is there any truth to it, like we hear in superhero stories, that when you lose your eyesight, your other senses become heightened in any way?
Nothing supernatural. By heightened, if you want to say that you use them more and focus on them more, that's 100% true. But no biological changes, of course, that I know of. But you do learn how to use the other senses a lot more, which may appear to be hypersensitive, but they really aren't. They were always there. People just rely on eyesight tremendously over everything else, and so they oftentimes don't know how to use their other senses as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure if you got your eyesight back tomorrow and you were just walking down the street or something, you would be like, wow, I hear a lot of stuff. Even though you might not be looking at those things, you might be hearing it or something, because obviously you use your hearing and your whatever you got, you're using it to stay alive when there's traffic and stuff, and you got to go through that. So they got to be heightened to some extent, maybe even more than you know, I'd assume. So what else? Well, so you say you bodybuild, I bodybuild, and so anyone watching this probably is into fitness. If they're subscribed to my channel, they're into fitness most likely, or Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball people are pretty down for fitness too. So do you have any tips on getting stronger? Because I'm pretty sure you say a regular bench press pyramid for you is like, what, you start at, what's your bench press pyramid?
225 to 245 usually.
And it's like 12 reps, 10 reps, 8 reps?
Yes.
Nice. And I know I've seen him do like 275, 285, so he's pretty strong. You got any tips on people trying to get stronger? Doing some sort of strength program? Strength regimen?
My only tip is to never say never. Set your goals and meet them, and just continue to set them. I had a goal to bench 270 in high school. I benched 300 in high school, but never want to end it there, because I'm sorry, I didn't bench 300 in high school. I benched 300 after high school. I benched 285 in high school. So just continue to set goals and never let anything stop you from getting there, because anyone can get there. And I'm only 5'5", so I was always a smaller person compared to your average man in high school, young man. So never let anyone tell you that you can't get there, or you can't achieve the goals that other guys can get to.
And Andrew's built a home gym, so he doesn't go to the gym. He's gone before with the free passes and stuff, but he's got his own home gym built here, and I encourage that as well. Build your own gym and stay out of those mainstream ones. And Let's see. So do you think, does strength transfer over into other aspects of your life? For instance, maybe the younger people getting into it. Do you think exercising and bodybuilding and stuff can give them a sense of self and maybe some build character and stuff for everyday life? And what would you say about like just taking life as whatever comes to you, just take it and roll with it, and then it doesn't really define who you are? What would you say to that kind of thing?
I would say that exercising and bodybuilding, getting stronger, should be a way of life for sure, and it should reflect on all aspects of your life. That's for sure. Most of the time, when you see someone who's pretty strong, who looks strong anyway, they usually have a strong and confident personality as well, which is going to carry over and help you in relationships, friendships, and succeed in even career goals.
Yeah, I should say something like losing your eyesight or whatever. Those things happen, but you don't let it define you, right? What kind of things do you focus on, and do you pride yourself on? Kind of, what's behind the name? Not just a blind guy, obviously.
Yeah. So certainly, some people may let it bring them down or define them, but I certainly don't, and try to live my life the best I could, even with that obstacle. Everyone's going to have a certain something that's bringing them down, but it shows if you let it bring you down and let it define you. So yeah, training and exercising is a way of becoming a person I want to be, not need to be. The eyesight I can't help and can't change, but if I exercise and train and look up to others who do the same, then I can become whoever I want to be.
I see. So your bodybuilding actually transfers over into life building. You're really building yourself as a person as well. So yeah, you kind of touched on the fact when you're strong, it does give you that confidence, and it can help you build better relationships and things like that. And also, if you want to get even stronger, then eventually you're going to get into the realms of health and nutrition, which is going to, if you have acne, your acne will probably clear up. You're going to get more confidence from that. And yeah, some of the most strongest people I've met, at first you're admiring their muscles, and then you're like, dang, they're strong. But then you get to know them, and usually they're incredibly nice. We all know the humongous bodybuilder, and you get to know him, and he's like, loves kittens and whatever, scared of a mouse and things like that. The stereotype. And then you got Andrew. He looks pretty big and ripped, and then you get to know him, and you're like, oh, he's blind. How do you even know that? If he was just standing there and you didn't see his cane or something. So there's always a story behind the muscles. I hope you all have a good life, and you all build your own story as well as your body. And so this is episode 1 of No Gym Needed Radio. I'm glad you all could join us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Every single day